tikulandireni pano pakanema wa Parliament lero lachinayi pa 3 April 2025 pamene tikupitiriza kukupatsirani tsatanetsatane wa zokambirana za aphungu mu mkumano woyamba mu makamaka ndi mmene ya namba 51. Ine dzina langa ndi Rachel Gonani. Ndondomeko yoyendetsera zokambirana za aphungu lero mnyumba ya malamulo ikusonyeza kuti nyumbayi ikambirana mafunso ochokera kwa aphungu kupita ku maunduna osiyanasiyana, ndipo mafunso ena akhala otsogozedwa ndi gawo 69 la malamulo oyendetsera zokambirana za aphungu. Ndipo lero pokhala lachinayi lomwe aphungu amatsogolera zokambirana mnyumbayi, ndondomeko ikusonyezanso kuti nyumbayi imva ndi kukambirana mapempho aphungu, zikalata za madandaulo zomwe aphungu amabweretsa kuchokera ku ma constituency awo, komanso malipoti amadera omwe aphungu amachokera achatimati constituency statements. Kumbali ya boma tikuyembekeza kuti aphungu akambirana mabilu komanso malipoti apachaka a nthambi za boma. Well, in case you are just joining us, I extend a warm welcome to you all. This is Parliament Television, and today is Thursday, 3 April 2025. We continue with our live coverage of parliamentary proceedings in the first meeting of Parliament in the 51st session. Today's order paper indicates that under general business, the House is expected to tackle questions on notice to ministers for oral replies. There will also be questions under Standing Order 69. Being a private members' day, under private members' business, we expect private members' motions, petitions, and constituency statements. Under government business, the House is expected to tackle bills and statutory reports. Stay tuned as we cross over to the chamber for today's deliberations. I am Rachel Gonani.
Let us pray. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness has appointed the office of the rulers and parliaments for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we ask you to behold with your abundant favors your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important trusts in this land. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we may treat and consider all matters that shall come under deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of this country and of those whose interests you have committed to our charge. Amen.
General business, communication from the chair.
Good morning, honorable members, and welcome. I have no communication to make. Member for Cholo Central, why are you rising?
Madam Speaker, good morning. I really was rising up to greet you because it has been a while. But because you asked why I'm rising, I will take an opportunity to beg that we, being a private members day, we give business to the government for purposes of handling the two bills as agreed yesterday. Because we've got limited time before next week. So I beg to move, Madam Speaker, that we hand over business to the government for purposes of handling the two bills, that is the Financial Crimes Bill and the Prisons Bill as agreed to yesterday. I beg to move, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Cholo Central. Honorable members, we have a motion on the floor, and the motion is that we waive all relevant standing orders in order for us to tackle government business, as today is a private members' day, but we move to government business. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary view say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried. Government Chief Whip.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Madam Speaker. And just to thank the Honorable House, especially the leadership from the opposition side, to stick by our agreement yesterday. And indeed, we will be tackling those two bills. But the Minister of Justice will be here in a moment. And in that place, I wanted to move that we waive the our order paper, just to start with questions from the Minister of Lands, and then after that we'll move to the bills. Thank you.
questions to Minister of Lands. Thank you.
General business, questions or notice to ministers for oral replies.
We'll start with question number 100, Zomba Malosa.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, for giving people of Zomba Malosa to confirm a question. But before I confirm the question, Madam Speaker, I wanted to say that I gave a question understanding Order 14 last week, and it hasn't come up today. So maybe that's why you saw my point of order. That time I wanted to remind, because I reminded again last week on Thursday, it didn't show up. So I'm hoping, since we are rising next week, this question will come on the order paper, Madam Speaker. Thank you. So I rise to confirm that question 100 from on today's order paper. It's really coming from people of Zomba Malosa, and it's going to the Minister of Lands. Just a correction, it should be houses to people of Zomba Malosa and Zomba district as well. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable Member for Zomba Malosa. I've just asked the Secretariat to check on your question. Although it shouldn't be a question as such, if it's understanding for Order 14, then it should be an adjournment motion. So we're going to check, because if it's a question, then it can't come under Standing Order 14. So we'll check. Thank you. Honourable Minister of Lands.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. And through you, let me thank the Honourable Member for Zomba Malosa, my dear sister, who's very passionate about her constituency. The Honourable Member for Zomba Malosa is asking my ministry to consider constructing 5 houses for people living with albinism in Zomba Malosa, but also in Zomba as a district in general. Right Honourable Speaker and the August House, let me say that government through my ministry is indeed constructing houses for persons with albinism in every district across the country, a project which started in 2012 to 2021 to 2022 financial year. However, selection of beneficiaries to be considered in any fiscal year is done by the responsible ministry, and in this regard, the Ministry of Gender, Community Development, and Social Welfare. And my ministry, as an implementing agent, provides houses for beneficiaries who have been prioritized in a particular year by the line ministry. As I said earlier on, this is the Ministry of Gender. Right Honourable Speaker and the August House, let me inform the Honourable House that as of to date, 67 houses have been constructed, with 65 completed, handed over, and occupied, while 2 are still under construction. And so far, Zomba has benefited with 2 houses already, and one is at Mikundi village, and the other one is at Mtetemera village, both in the area of traditional authority in Kapita. Suffice to say, Right Honourable Speaker, that this project is ongoing. And in conclusion, allow me to add, Madam Speaker and the August House, that Zomba beneficiaries are among the 57 prioritized ones for this coming financial year, that is 2025 and 2026. And resources permitting, Right Honourable Speaker, let me assure the Honourable Member for Zomba Malosa that her people, as long as they satisfy all the parameters that the Ministry of Gender, Community Development and Social Welfare that they use for its beneficiaries, then obviously her people in the constituency, as she alludes that there are several, they will definitely benefit from the load that will be done in the 25-26 financial year. As I said, prioritization and such a degree of vulnerability that includes gender and number of persons with albinism in the household and the like, that's the criteria that the Ministry of Gender uses. Obviously, priority goes along those parameters. So in conclusion, Right Honorable Speaker and the August House, the Honorable Member stands to benefit from the resources that we have just passed in the recent budget sitting. I submit first to the Speaker, Right Honorable Speaker, Madam.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Cheu Bwanje, is it Bwanje South? Just Cheu Bwanje. North, yes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for allowing the people of Ncheo Bwanje North to ask a supplementary question to the Ministry of Lands. Madam Speaker, people with albinism in Malawi face significant challenges, including discrimination, stigma, and violence. Through you, Madam Speaker, I would like to remind the Honourable Minister that the houses that they are constructing at Masese, they are still in progress. And secondly, Madam Speaker, I would like to request the Honourable Minister to consider constructing houses at Sharp Valley Police Unit since we did not benefit from the first phase and second phase. I submit, Madam Speaker.
For Ncheu Bwanje North, Honorable Minister of Lands.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, and through you, let me thank the Honorable Member for Ncheu Bwanje North, my dear sister. My dear sister is actually acknowledging that the Chagwera administration is actually constructing the houses for people living with albinism, considering the dilemma that they're in terms of discrimination, stigma, but also violence that is perpetrated against them. And to this extent, she's actually acknowledging that construction of one of the houses, is it at Masasa or Masese, something, is actually in progress. But Honorable Speaker, my dear sister is very clever. You see, apart from the construction of houses for people living with albinism, she's twisted the whole question towards the construction of police houses at Sharp Valley, to an extent that it is our wish that much as we are constructing houses in other areas, should rather also be considered for the construction of houses at Sharp Valley in the upcoming phase. Right Honorable Speaker and the August House, let me assure the Honorable Member that indeed the construction of 10,000 houses, which is a flagship project by the Chagwera administration, is ongoing. And let me assure that as we get into the third phase of the construction, Sharp Valley Police Unit will surely be considered for allocation of police houses units. I submit first, Right Honorable Speaker, Madam.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Rumpi East, then Chitipa East.
Thank you, Madam Right Honorable Speaker. I would like to thank you for granting the people of Rumpi East an opportunity to ask a Minister of Lands about houses, construction of a house at Chitimba Trading Center, which was given the last cohort that indeed, because of that incident, they said they are going to construct a house for the family, victim's family. But up to now, the house, they started the foundation, they started the process, but in the process, the house did not actually come to completion. So I wanted to find out through you, Speaker, if that project is going to be undertaken processed and finish the project which is started and it is stored. Thank you, Honorable Madam Speaker. Sir.
Thank you,
Not
Honorable
sir.
Member for Rumpi East. Honorable Minister of Lands.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. And through you, let me thank the Honorable Member, the senior brother from Rumpi East, who is very passionate about his area to an extent that he hasn't forgotten a family that was actually victimized at Chitimba Trading Center, where government is actually constructing a house for the same and is a bit worried regarding the progress of the house. Right Honorable Speaker, let me assure the Honorable Member for Rumpi East that indeed, as the project is ongoing, we have had some issues with the contractor, and let me assure the Honorable Member that I'm happy that those issues were sorted out, and as we have just commenced into another financial year, definitely progress should be able to be seen as the contractor will get back on the ground. And the people of Chitimba and the family in particular should be assured of having a better roof this time around. I submit, Right Honorable Speaker, Madam.
Honorable Minister, Chitipa East.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, for granting the people of Misuk space to ask a question to the Honorable Minister of Lands. Madam Speaker, before I do that, let me pass my condolences to the people of Rumpi East on the passing of Themba Mwamlowe, who passed on yesterday. We in Malawi Congress Party are very concerned with that death, and we are with the family at the moment. I'm sure my honorable colleague may not have gotten this news. I'm letting him know, Honorable Kamlepo, that Themba Mwamlowe passed on yesterday. My question, Honorable Speaker, to the Minister is taking him to Iwanda in Chitipa Central, where one Mavuto Lwinga, a person living with albinism, was promised to have a house by the then government of the DPP. Madam Speaker, Mavuto Lwinga is a person who, as you know, in those days was very threatened. Luckily, the government of Dr. Lazarus Chakwera has provided some good security that he's feeling a little bit safe now. But my question then is whether the minister could consider still constructing a house, because he still has the hope as was given by the then government. Madam Speaker, thank you for this space.
Chitipa East and our condolences. Honorable Minister of Lands.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. And through you, let me thank the Honorable Member for Chitipa East, representing the people of Misuku Hills, and indeed my dear brother, former Minister of Lands. The Honorable Member for Chitipa East would like to find out regarding the status, or indeed perhaps a concern towards a citizen who hails from Chitipa Central, living with albinism, who was promised to have been built a house during the past administration. The name is Mavuto Lwinga from Chitipa Central. Right Honorable Speaker and the August House, let me inform the Honorable Member that indeed the Chakwera administration is actually constructing houses for people living with albinism. As already alluded to earlier on, that so far we have constructed 67 houses, and out of the 67, 65 have been completed and 2 are in progress. But let me also assure the Honorable Member and inform the August House that this project is ongoing to an extent that in this financial year there have been resources allocated towards the same. And as I already said earlier on, the criteria is that determination is actually done by the line ministry, which is Ministry of Gender, So I would like to inform the honorable member for Chitipa East to actually link up with the member or the citizen from Chitipa Central, Mr. Winger, to actually approach the line minister, Minister of Gender at Chitipa District Council, so that he can be considered during this financial year. But it suffice to say that the ministry is willing, and as long as the family meets the criteria done by the Minister of Gender, as an implementing agency, Minister of Lands will definitely build the house at Chitipa Central, just as we're doing across the country. I submit, Right Honorable Speaker, Madam.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Rumpi East, you're rising on a point of order.
Yes, Madam, right, Honorable Madam Speaker. I wanted to echo to a friend, a colleague from Chitipa East that indeed we lost TM Mamlowe, and I'm aware that we lost him yesterday. And indeed, I want to thank him for also acknowledging that we have lost our TA. I wanted just to bring up that and appreciate what he did. Thank you, Madam, Right Honorable Madam Speaker.
No, our condolences, Honorable Member for Rumpi East. We now go to question 101, Zomba Sondole.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I really rise to confirm that question number 101, appearing in today's order paper, bearing my name, is indeed from the people of TA Nkagula, TA Kuntumanje. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Zomba Sondole. Honorable Minister of Lands.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, and through you, let me thank the honorable member for Zomba Sondole. The honorable member for Zomba Sondole is actually asking my ministry to consider constructing security staff houses at the Sondole Police Unit, which has been constructed with the CDF. Right Honorable Speaker, and the August House, let me actually applaud the honorable member, a seasoned politician, my dear brother, from Zomba Sondole, for the passion and initiative that is actually taking or doing in his constituency to save Malawians better, to an extent that is actually prioritized part of the 200 million budget CDF towards the construction of a police unit. And in this regard, he's actually looking forward to having staff houses at the establishment. Honorable Speaker and the August House, let me assure the honorable member that we, as a government, we appreciate the initiative, and it is our responsibility and duty to actually consider allocating the houses. So let me assure the honorable member that during this upcoming phase, that is phase 3 of the construction of the ongoing 10,000 houses, definitely Nsondole Police Unit will be considered some houses. So just by extension, let me also appeal to honorable members in their respective constituencies to put as a priority part of the CDF funds to consider establishing or constructing some police establishments, especially police units, and likewise as the Minister of Lands will definitely come in through guidance from the Minister of Homeland to construct houses in their respective constituencies. I submit, Right Honorable Speaker, Madam.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Doa West, Machinga West, then Chitipa Wenya.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, for recognizing the people of Doa West to ask a supplementary question. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to find out from the Honorable Minister of Lands, Housing and the Urban Development whether this time around there is an intention to quickly construct houses at Mbingwa Police Unit, Zole Police Unit, and Nambuma Police Unit, including Chisepo, Right Honorable Speaker. These police units are actually providing the much needed security services to the communities, but the police officers do commute from Mponera up to Dzole, from Madisi up to Mbingwa, and from Malembo up to Chisepo, simply because we don't have houses in these police units. It's important, Madam Speaker, that even in Nambuma, we need to construct extra houses so that the rural growth center is seen to be a rural growth center. By just constructing the houses, Right Honorable Speaker, we would have lifted the face of Nambuma. So I plead with the Honorable Minister, the people of Senior Chief Dzole, Senior Chief Kayembe, and indeed the whole Doa Ndolera constituency, Doa West constituency, they are eagerly waiting for your response, Honorable Minister of Lands. Thank you very much. I submit.
Thank you, Doa West, Honorable Member, sorry, yeah, Honorable Minister of Lands.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. And through you, let me thank the Honorable Member for the West, our dear brother, seasoned politician, who ably represents the people from Senior Chief Dzole, Senior Chief Kayembe, people of Ndolera. The Honorable Member is actually asking my ministry to consider construction of police staff houses at the Mbingwa Police Unit, Dzole Police Unit, Nambuma Police Unit, but also Chisepo Police Unit. The Honorable Member further alludes to the fact that much as we have these police establishments and the following centers, as already mentioned, but the members of staff actually travel long distances from their places of residence, that is all the way from Ponera, Madisi, but also from Malembo. Right Honorable Speaker and the August House, let me assure the Honorable Member that just as we have just passed the recent, or the budget, is actually started being implemented as of maybe 2 days ago, it is the conviction of the Jaguar administration that the construction of these 10,000 houses is actually ongoing. And obviously, we are coming up with a third phase, whereby the people of Doa West will be considered, definitely. So as long as there's pieces of land at Mbingwa, Dzole, Nambuma, but also Chisepo, through guidance from the Minister of Homeland, as the Line Ministry, definitely Minister of Lands is coming there to start construction of the houses in the third upcoming phase. I submit, Right Honorable Speaker, Madam.
Thank you, Honorable Minister of Lands, Mangochi West.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity for the people of Mangochi West to ask a supplementary question to the Minister of Lands. Through you, Right Honorable Speaker, the people of Mangochi West would like to know the factors which the ministry consider for an area to benefit these security houses. I'm asking this having in mind that in our area, we do have 3 police units, Mangombo Police Unit, Marembo Police Unit, and the Nankumba Police Unit, but none of these has benefited from these security houses. Therefore, if it pleases the minister, would he consider try to help the people of Mangochi West to construct houses in 1 or 2 of these particular police units? We have managed to construct all the 3 police units using the CDF funds. But what is lacking is the staff houses Honorable Minister, please consider the people of Senior Chief Nankumba. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
The Honorable Member for Mangochi West. Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. And through you, let me thank the Honorable Member, my dear brother from Mangochi West, who ably represents the people from Senior Chief Nankumba. And the Honorable Member would like to find out from my ministry regarding the criteria, or indeed factors, that actually enables somebody to qualify or an area to qualify for construction of police houses. Right Honorable Speaker, let me assure the Honorable Member and the August House, as he's already alluded to, that so far with CDF, he's constructed police establishments at Mangongo Police Unit, Malembo Police Unit, but also Nankumba Police Unit. This is highly commendable, and that officers actually traveling long distances to save Malawians at these police establishments. Right Honorable Speaker, let me assure the Honorable Member that in the upcoming phase of the construction of 10,000 houses, which is actually ongoing, and being a police establishment, I would like to appeal to the Honorable Member to link up with the line ministry, that is Minister of Homeland, who definitely approaches us to allocate some units at the respective police establishment. So let me assure the Honorable Member, as a ministry, definitely we are coming down there as long as there's some pieces of land for construction of police houses. Let me also extend that the police houses that we are actually constructing now, apart from the bungalows that we normally see around town, but we have gone upwards. In other ways, we have advanced in terms of technology, that we have started construction of flats, high-rise buildings. For some of you, for your appreciation, who have ever gone to Mitundu, Mitundu is no longer the same Mitundu that you normally see in terms of maybe the training center that you normally know. Mitundu is actually advanced, that we have now high-rise flats for police houses. Very beautiful. And it is at an advanced stage. Likewise, we are going that direction. We just started with Mitundu, but also Kachari, but we are going down there, even to Mangochi, and indeed other areas. So the police service will no longer be the same police service in terms of provision of better accommodation for our officers. So yes, the people of Mangochi West, the people of Senior Nankumba, definitely they stand to benefit from the upcoming phase, as long as there are some pieces of land and a need from the community is actually established, who will definitely recommend or forward the same to the line minister, Minister of Homeland, and definitely will forward the request to us for implementation. I submit, Madam Speaker, Madam.
Thank you. Chitipa Wenya.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, for allowing the people of Chitipa Wenya to ask a supplementary question to the Minister of Lands. The people of Chitipa Wenya wants to find out to when the ministry is going to construct houses at the Chisenga Police Unit and Chitipa and Wenya Police Post. Because I'm asking this question because the former Minister of Lands promised to the people of Chitipa Wenya that Chisenga will receive 10 houses and Wenya 2 houses. But up to now, there is nothing on the ground. The houses these police officers uses now, they are very old and very small for these police officers to be using. So to when Mr. Minister, sir, are you going to consider the people of Chitipa Wenya? I submit, Madam Speaker. Madam.
Thank you, Chitipa Wenya. Honorable Minister of Lands.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. And through you, let me thank the Honorable Member for Chitipa Wenya, my dear good brother, who's very passionate about his area to an extent that he's actually asking my ministry to consider construction of police houses at Chisenga Police Unit, but also Wenya Police Post, to the fact that he alludes that the former minister actually promised the people of Chitipa that there will be 10 houses at Chisenga Unit, but also 2 at Wenya. Let me agree with my former Minister of Lands, who actually spoke highly about his home area, but also Chitipa in general, to the fact that it is true that we will build 10 houses at Chisenga Unit, but also 2 at Wenya Police Post. To this end, let me assure the honorable member that the contractor was already identified and is mobilizing. Now that we've just passed the budget, very soon the contractor will get to Chisenga, but also Wenya, and start construction of the houses. So yes, the people of Chitipa Wenya definitely will see a change in terms of the houses that are actually coming there through the 10,000 housing project that the Jogwel administration is actually doing across the country. I submit, Madam Speaker, Madam.
Thank you, Honorable Government Chief Whip. Guide us, please.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I beg now to move that we move to item number 4 on the order paper, government business 4A, Roman numeral 5, bills, bill number 8 of 2025, prisons. Thank you.
Thank you very much, honorable members.
Government business, bills, Roman numeral number 5, bill number 8 of 2025, prisons.
You, Honorable Minister of Justice, well, it's going to be Minister of Homeland. Yes, Honorable Minister. But before that, I've seen the Honorable Whip from opposition. You had something?
Right Honorable Speaker, thank you very much for giving me the floor. I had been requesting for the floor for some time. When the Minister of Lands was responding to questions pertaining to his ministry. Madam Speaker, on 25th of February, I submitted a question in this House under Standing Order 14, wanting to inquire from the Minister as to what his ministry is doing to deal with the issue to do with people of Kasasire in Nkata Bay who have been living in very, very dire straits for some time now. I had submitted that question, hoping that the minister was going to respond to that question. It's now close to 2 months. There's been no feedback from government side. And yet people of Kasasire are going through a very difficult moment. Madam Speaker, I would like to get a response as we move into government business. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Whip from opposition. Well, the clerks, I don't know if that question was processed and in terms of... Thank you. I was just checking with the desk. We did process it and I think it's on your side, government. I think it was sent to the government, but we've not been given a response for you to say when you're going to respond to that question. So I think probably the government chief whip and Minister of Lands and leader, there's that question, which was, you want him to write again? Honorable member for Rumpi North is saying, can you write the question again? Because, sorry? You can forward the same. Thank you, you can do that. Thank you. Honorable Minister of Homeland Security.
Today and now, Madam Speaker.
Sorry, I forgot that I was supposed to ask you a question on when the bill number 8 of 2025, prisons, when should it be taken, today and now? Thank you, honorable members. I now put the question. The question is that bill number 8 of 2025, prisons, be taken today and now. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary view say no. The ayes have it and the motion is carried. Honorable Minister of Homeland Security.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the Prisons Bill 2025 be read for the second time. Madam Speaker, the bill before the House seeks to repeal the Prisons Act, Chapter 902 in our laws, and replace it with new legislation which conforms with constitutional and international standards, adopts a human rights-based approach to the management of the prison system, and focuses on rehabilitation and reintegration of prisoners into society. Madam Speaker, as honorable members are aware, Malawi's current Prisons Act was enacted in 1956. Since Malawi attained independence in 1964, the Act has undergone some amendments, but there have been no amendments since the adoption of the new Republican Constitution in the year 1994. The existing Prisons Act has faced numerous challenges in managing prisons and prisoners, such as prison overcrowding and poor conditions of confinement, particularly in light of human rights provisions in the Constitution. Furthermore, it has been noted that the current design of the management of the prison system is punitive, with very little focus on rehabilitation and the integration of prisoners into society. Consequently, a pressing need arose for a comprehensive overhaul of the prison system to ensure alignment with the Constitution of Malawi, international standards such as the United Nations standards, minimum rules for the treatment of prisoners, and international human rights treaties to which Malawi is a party. Madam Speaker, as a result, stakeholders called for a review of the Act, and the first attempt was made in 2003 to align the Act with constitutional and international standards, but the proposals fell short due to insufficient consideration of Malawi's socio-economic realities. In 2013, a special law commission was empaneled to conduct a comprehensive review, which included extensive research and considerations. The Commission's report presents a narrative and draft legislation. This bill is therefore a product of the report of this Special Law Commission. The proposals in this bill aim to align the management of the prison system with constitutional and international standards which adopt a human rights-based approach to the management of the prison system and focuses on rehabilitation and reintegration of prisoners into society. To this end, Madam Speaker and honorable members, the bill before you, among others, specifically, the bill proposes to make provisions for A, the administration of the Malawi Prison Service by providing for, among other things, ranks with the Malawi Prison Service and additional powers and functions of the Chief Commissioner. B, additional powers, functions, and other matters relating to the Prisons Service Commission. C, the establishment of prisons, including open prisons and halfway houses. D, the appointment, powers, duties, discipline, and termination of appointment of prison officers. E, the regulation of the admission, management, and discipline of prisoners. F, the establishment of a regime for prisoners to lodge complaints. G, the discharge and release of prisoners using various modes, including release on parole. H, provide for a comprehensive regime for the inspection of prisons, including additional functions and other matters relating to the inspectorate of prisons. I, the admission and management of remandees in prison, and the other miscellaneous matters such as the power of the minister to make regulations. Madam Speaker, I have no doubt that once this bill is enacted, Malawi will have a robust legal framework which shall significantly enhance prison governance in Malawi, promoting the humane treatment of prisoners and improving overall conditions within the prison system. It will also facilitate the integration of rehabilitation and reintegration programs, ensuring that the prison system aligns with both national values and international obligations. Madam Speaker, based on the stated reasons, allow me to invite honorable members of this august House to support the prisons bill. Madam Speaker, I beg to move.
Very much, Honorable Minister of Homeland Security. I now invite spokesperson from DPP. Honorable member of Blantyre City Central. Yes, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving the people of Blantyre City Center the opportunity to respond to the bill on behalf of the Democratic Progressive Party. Madam Speaker, on the outset, let me thank the leadership of our mighty party for giving the people of Blantyre City Center a chance to respond to this bill. We express our gratitude to the former president and the incoming president of the Republic of Malawi and of the mighty Democratic Progressive Party, Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika, for this opportunity. Madam Speaker, let me thank our leadership in Parliament, the Leader of Opposition, the Whip, and also the spokesperson on legal affairs in the Democratic Progressive Party, Honorable Msaka SC, for yielding to me to respond on behalf of the party. Madam Speaker, we are happy that this bill is coming to the House now to repeal the Prisons Act, Chapter 902. As the Honorable Minister said, this act was passed 69 years ago. It is an old act. It is outdated. It has shown in a number of instances, as has been already outlined, that it needs to be changed. We are happy that the proposals are wearing a human rights face, and they place emphasis on rehabilitation and reintegration of prisoners into society. Madam Speaker, we have also noted that there have been previous attempts to change this law. We in the DPP are happy that this is now being done. Madam Speaker, as you know, corruption in this country has gone up and keeps going up. So we need to take all those people in the executive arm of government who are involved in this vice to prison for their rehabilitation. These people need to change. We need to reduce instances of corruption in this country. So we are very happy that this is coming into place now. Your Honor, Right Honorable Speaker, I have been privileged at times to be in one of your committees that has interacted with the prison service authorities. I would like to commend them for the job that they do. They do a very good job with limited resources. We are sure that the coming in of this bill, of this law, when we pass it into law, will help them even further to do a good job of rehabilitating people. Madam Speaker, another reason that we are glad for the coming in of this bill, we hope that the emphasis on rehabilitation and reformation will help us, especially in the opposition, from being dragged to a court and prison cells on political trumped-up charges. Because now the executive arm will realize that prisons are for rehabilitation and reformation and not for political punishment. So we are grateful that this is coming in. In any case, Madam Speaker, on the issue of reducing political arrests, we are very happy that we are conducting elections in September, because soon after the 16th of September, these political arrests will stop, and we will focus on rehabilitating the country and moving the country forward. Madam Speaker, we in the DPP would also want to put it on record that we are not happy with the way things are going in this country. I'll give you an example of the Ndirande Maketa Road. When at Blantyre City Council, we MPs and councillors passed a resolution to construct that road. All the funds were available, but it started being constructed. It was never fully constructed. There are parts of that road that were tarmacked, but the tarmac was removed in the hope of bringing in fresh tar. But nothing like that has happened. Where the road was previously tarmacked, now it is a dirt road. Where the tar has been put on the road, some of the works are not complete, so that the road can actually get cut at any point. So we are looking at things like those and happy with the coming in of this bill, that maybe some people who divert funds for whatever reason that they divert funds for, or who misappropriate funds, will be taken to prisons for rehabilitation and reformation. Madam Speaker, on behalf of the people of Blantyre City Centre, where our senior chief Kapeni comes from, Group Village Headman Matope, and Village Heads Chakana, Tambarika, I would want to support this bill on behalf of the mighty Democratic Progressive Party. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable Member for Blantyre City Central for the US standing in for the spokesperson of DPP. Thank you. We now get a spokesperson from UDF. Yes, Commissioner Patel.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for recognizing Mangotsi South, who's standing in on behalf of UDF. Madam Speaker, we would like to support this bill, which seeks to amend the penal code to also introduce house detention as a form of punishment. Madam Speaker, the bill, the Prisons Act was enacted in 1956. And after independence in 1964, there were amendments. No amendments have been done since the adoption of the 1994 Constitution. Madam Speaker, I think we should all feel ashamed of ourselves, especially me, and those of us who have stayed here for long. How could we just sit and allow this to happen? So shame on us, especially myself and those of us who have been here since 1994. Madam Speaker, in 2003, I think the minister alluded to it, that there was a stakeholders, and then to come up with a report, and it fell on deaf ears because there was no money. That's an excuse we always have, not to do things. No money, but there's money for other things. Come 2013, there was a special law commission. Now here we are, 60 years after independence, our prisoners are still suffering. 30 years after democracy, our prisoners are still suffering. Madam Speaker, this is very, very urgent. Those of us, I've never been in prison, but I go visit people. It's sad. I don't even know what word I can use, what we see there. The Parliamentary Women's Caucus, I don't know whether it was last cohort or the other one, visited Maula prison. Oh my God, what we saw, the women there. They used to sleep on top of each other, even three. Three, one down there, the other one there, no space. As a women's caucus, we looked for money and we built an extension. I remember, I don't know, I think it's this cohort. We discovered the women, they don't even have sanitary wear. And thank God, immediately, I think the Ministry of Finance then, we accommodated this. So at least Women's Caucus has tried. But it's not, it's still terrible, especially the children, the kids, who accompany their mothers to prison. So, Madam Speaker, I don't know whether you all remember the way Dr. Vera Chirwa cried for us. I wish we could dig that speech or that when she cried for us as MPs. What she experienced with her husband and how he died. And then he said, let's forget about the past, let's move on. You legislators, go to prisons and see how people are suffering. I don't think we did anything. That plea fell on deaf ears. Madam Speaker, we're all potential prisoners, all of us. Nobody knows who will go next to prison. So, to kukoza for us as well, and the future. So, I think now that it has come in Parliament, let's do this work, which we should have done very early. Madam Speaker, I can't say any more on what and how our prisoners are suffering. I said Dr. Vera Chirwa, but recently it was late Lucius Chikuni, sorry, Lucius Banda, not Lucius Chikuni, Lucius Banda. He said, in fact, he was happy that he went to prison because he experienced what was going on. And what we wanted to do before he dies is to advocate for the rights of prisoners. Prisoners are being ill-treated. Prisoners, sometimes it's maybe the court procedures. I know people who are on remand, especially, I don't know what you call them, prisoners who have committed murder. Sometimes they stay there 20 years on remand. And sometimes even a prisoner, just because they don't have a lawyer, they're sitting in there. So I think let's take this thing seriously. I thank you, the Minister, for bringing this bill. And let's promise each other that once this bill is passed, immediately start taking action. Don't wait another 10 years before you take action. But we as MPs, these MPs and the next ones, which I hope all of us on 16 September were coming back. Let's, this year, even if you pass the bill, let's just not leave it. I'm not a prisoner. No. Let's work. And I wish the Hansard should be displayed there. Honorable Patel, if I'm here, I'm sure I'm going to come back. I'm sure I'm going to. Anyway, let's leave it in God's hands. We don't know who will come here. But let's not sit down like what we did ourselves. We will be doing injustice to the people of Malawi and the prisoners of Malawi to let them suffer what's going on in prison. I thank you. With these few remarks, I thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner and Spokesperson for UDF. I now call upon the Chair of the Defense Committee to give us a report. Indeed, the Vice Chair. You have the floor. Yes, you can come in front if you want.
Madam Speaker, as you are aware that Parliament referred Bill number 8 of 2025, prisons, to the Parliamentary Committee on Defense and Security for scrutiny and reporting to the House on the same. In particular, the committee was mandated to critically analyze the bill, identify critical issues in the bill, and present to the House on its findings and recommendations. Madam Speaker, the committee, in analyzing the bill, held a roundtable discussions with officials from the prisons, Ministry of Justice, and the committee also received and considered a submission from the Malawi Human Rights Commission. Madam Speaker, during the discussions of the bill, the committee was informed that, among others, the bill is aimed at reforming the prison system in Malawi with the purpose of addressing the gaps and inconsistencies in the current Prison Act. That the current Prison Act has several provisions that are inconsistent with the Republican Constitution and the international human rights standards, and inconsistencies have negative implications on prisoners' welfare, rehabilitation, and reintegration, and that the bill provides a framework for humane treatment of prisoners, rehabilitation, and reintegration into society, and promotion of public safety. Madam Speaker, the committee observed that the spirit of the bill is to transform Malawi prisons service into a correctional service. Therefore, the committee strongly recommends that the Constitution be amended to reflect the transformation of the prisons service into a correctional service. Madam Speaker, in order to enhance the enforcement and implementation of the bill, the committee recommends that, among others, the following issues be considered for inclusion into the regulations to be formulated governing the implementation of the bill. Number one, clear definition of the role of prisons inspectorate that includes powers to investigate, report, and enforce changes. Two, with regards to the parole board, the regulations should specify the ministry responsible for budgets in order to avoid over-reliance on external donations. Three, on alternative sentences and community services, the regulations should include standardized assessment tools to evaluate an offender's suitability for alternative sentencing. D, a clear definition of alternative sentences such as probation or community service. E, in terms of labor board, that the board should include prisoners' representatives or the external person to provide checks and balances for the fund, and an explicit provision for adequate nourishment for all prisoners. Madam Speaker, having received the submissions on the bill from the Malawi Prison Service, Ministry of Justice, and the Malawi Human Rights Commission, and having carefully deliberated on them, the committee considered and adopted the clauses on the bill without amendments. Madam Speaker, the committee would like to commend Malawi Prison Service and the Ministry of Justice for the efforts to formulate and present to the House Bill number 8 of 2025, Prisons. It is the hope of the committee that the bill will be adopted and passed by the House. I therefore submit the report for the House, to the House for consideration and adoption, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vice Chair, for our defense. Thank you. Anybody from the committee second the report? Yes, Honorable Member for Zomba Tondwe.
Right, Madam Speaker, your Committee on Defense and Security met to consider the report. I therefore rise to second the report. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Zomba Tondwe, for seconding the report. I now open the floor for debate on the report. Debate on the report. Honorable Member for Zomba Chisi.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I hope I heard you correctly that we should be debating on the report, but I thought there were also some sentiments that came through from the spokespersons of the party. Can we make reference to them as well?
Just that you are debating on the report.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Right Honorable Speaker, I rise to make a comment on the bill itself, because I've read it through and I thought that there are certain issues that are very important that the people of Zomba Chisi would like to reflect on. So that is the reason why I'm rising, unless I'm guided otherwise.
Can you clarify again? You're rising because?
There is a bill on the floor, Right Honorable Speaker.
But we are debating the report now.
So I can come in later.
Sorry? Because I've recognized you on the report.
Two spokespersons of the political parties have given their sentiments based on the bill. And I thought that you're opening the floor for members now to start debating. I thought that's the
Honorable Member, you've been here for some time. We'll debate the report first, then we'll go back to the...
Thank you very much. Then you can recognize me later at the debate.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any takers on the floor on the report? Honorable Government Chief Whip. Government Chief Whip, please give him the rights to
Yes, Madam Speaker, I beg to curtail debate on the report in order to allow the chair to wind up. Thank you.
Thank you. Whip, honorable members, I now put the question. The question is that debate on the report be curtailed in order to allow the Vice Chairperson of Defense Committee to wind up. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary view say no. The ayes have it and the motion is carried. Vice Chairperson Defense.
Thank you, Madam Madam Speaker, for giving another chance to me to wind up on this debate. Madam, having us not deliberated on the same, it just means that this is a very important bill that we have been waiting for. As you heard from the Minister of Defense, Madam Speaker, that this piece of legislation has been idle since 1956. So I think this is the right time that we need to make these very important changes. With these few remarks, Madam Speaker, I beg to move. Thank you.
You beg to move that the report be adopted. Eh?
Right, Honourable Speaker, I beg to move that the report be adopted by the House. Thank you.
Thank you, honourable members. I now put the question. The question is that the report as presented by the Vice Chairperson of the Defence Committee be adopted. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary view say no. The ayes have it and the report has been adopted. We now go to general debate. Honourable Member for Zomba Chisi had already given you the floor. Zomba Malosa, and I've seen, sorry, Cholo Central and thank you, yes, Zomba Malosa. Honorable, yes, Zomba Chisi, sorry, not Malosa, sorry.
Thank you very kindly, Right Honorable Speaker, and my apologies for the mishap that happened earlier on. Right Honorable Speaker, I rise to make some comments on the bill which is on the floor right now. I think it is a very important bill, Prisons Bill of 2025. There are two spokespersons of the political parties that have already given their sentiments on behalf of their respective parties. And as the people of Zomba Chisil, we cannot agree with them more because they have highlighted quite very important issues that they see in the bill. As we have been informed by the Honorable Minister that this law was enacted in 1956. And as Mangoji South has pointed out, that indeed this House must feel ashamed that since 1956, there is literally nothing that was done to this law until now that we're doing it in 2025. And to add to that, Right Honorable Speaker, that a special law commission was established in 2013. And between 2013 and now, there was no action that was taken. Maybe also, just to ask the Honorable Minister of Justice as to how many of such laws are laying in your pigeonholes that have not been comprehensively attended to since maybe the time of independence. Because today we're talking of President's Bill, but there could be other laws that were enacted long time ago that have not been attended to. So it's time, Right Honorable Speaker, that this Parliament should be looking at that. And of course, we are finishing our term, but it's quite important that the Honorable Minister of Justice should also maybe take us through of some laws that are laying in his shelves that have not been attended to for a long time, because this is really sad. Right Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Member for Mangochi South has also alluded to the fact, which is the point that I wanted to make, that all of us, and especially us politicians, we are potential prisoners. There are others that are here that have tasted prison life, and they can attest to the fact that the conditions are not right. And as you know, Right Honorable Speaker, there are certain people that are sent to prison wrongly. Just a few days ago, we heard that in South Africa, a Nigerian pastor was arrested and convicted by the court of law in South Africa some 8 years ago. And a review was done of that particular case. He has been found that he was actually not guilty of all the 32 counts that he was accused of. So he spent 8 years in prison. But at the end of the day, the courts have come back and said he was not wrong. So essentially, all of us could be potential prisoners and could be sent to jail without doing anything wrong, as the case has been in South Africa a few days ago. So it is important, Right Honorable Speaker, to put up laws that will ensure that those that are sent to prison, and of course, there are all different stakeholders that are lined up on this. The judiciary is quite key in this particular aspect. But us as lawmakers, I think it is important that we make laws that are supposed to bring sanity to the whole system of prison. It has been said about conditions in our prisons. But, Right Honorable Speaker, we cannot talk about conditions in our prisons if we don't talk about funding. We just passed the budget a couple of days ago. And I know there is funds that will be appropriated to the Malawi Prison Service. But as you are aware, Right Honorable Speaker, that the funds that are appropriated to such entities, such as prison, they're not enough. And we talk about congestion in the prisons. Most of our prisons are so congested. You talk of the Zomba Central Prison, where I come from. It is a big prison. I think it's one of the largest prisons in the country. But if you go there, Right Honorable Speaker, it's so congested. And whilst I am at this, Right Honorable Speaker, there was a proposal by government that they will be moving Maula Prison to some other place, where it's Namitete or somewhere else. We have not heard from government since, because I thought that issues of congestion could have been sorted out if indeed a bigger prison would be constructed in order to sort such things out. And also, Right Honorable Speaker, there is an issue that was also commented on, and I think by Blantyre City Central, in terms of rehabilitation of our prisoners. We heard some years ago that some of the buildings that we have in this country, especially that were built by our cooperating partners, were built by prisoners. I cannot mention them. But we heard that they were sending their people, these were prisoners from their countries, to come and build those structures. I thought that it is now time that we enact our laws in such a way that we allow those prisoners that have skills in our prisons to make sure that they are utilized properly. And even cleaning our cities. We have lamented, Right Honorable Speaker, of our cities that are not clean. And I think in this House we have always lamented of, for example, Blantyre City, that at one point it was the cleanest city in Africa, but now it is no longer. We can use prisoners, people that have been, in prison for a long time, to rehab as a form of rehabilitating them, to also work in our cities. Of course, we have been at some point we've been seeing our prisoners, cutting grasses around in our cities, but we can do more in order that we make our cities clean. Right Honorable Speaker, I can go on and on, but I want to go back to the issue that I earlier stated about our laws. That we have this bill that we consider today, which should have been which should have been done a long time ago. And now we are doing it several years later, more than 60 years later. I want to go back to the Honorable Minister of Justice. Can we go back and see which other laws are laying that this House has not considered, so that it's time that we consider them, because it's very, very important that we bring sanity to the whole system. I thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. With these few remarks, Right Honorable Speaker, I support the bill. Thank you.
Zomba Malosa, then Cholo Central.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, for giving people of Zomba Malosa to comment on the prison bill, which has been presented by the Minister of Homeland. Madam Speaker, I stand just because I have in my constituency Domas prison. I would like to say that on this Eid, I happened to be with the people in prison, seen how they are suffering, seen the conditions that are living in, and to see that the minister has brought up this bill. It's something that people of Zomba Malosa, especially people in Domas prison, will appreciate. Because as I've seen the bill, I've seen that Domas prison will be decongested once this bill passes. And again, we'll see that the people will start having maybe 3 meals a day. I can tell you, Madam Speaker, that our friends, they are just eating koloa just for a day. No food, which is inhuman. And I just want to agree with the other people that have spoke without me, before me. They have said that we are all potential, one day or the other, who might end up being in prison for one reason or the other. And I think we would not like to be in those kind of conditions, just eating koloa, potato leaves, and sleep. So people of Zomba Malosa, we really want to push this bill to come up, to go through. And again, issues of health. I've seen a lot of people there with a lot of scabies. I think things are not well. I wish maybe also, I'm just happy that in the bill just tackled about healthy issues. Our people in prison will be having at least a way to maybe to have, or to maybe the scabies to be eradicated completely, and maybe they'll be living also in good conditions after the bill. And again, I've seen in the bill, has also tackled about women on sanitation, to be receiving sanitary pads, and again, women with small women and pregnant women to be considered. I think this is a way to go, because as women, when we are pregnant, we need to be staying in a clean place. We need a lot of things. So just for government to think on this, on women, I feel like we are honored as women, because the children are innocent. Even when one is pregnant, you need to an environment that whatever the environment is will affect the baby that is coming. So if this bill pass, Zomba Malosa, especially Domas prison, will benefit. The only thing that I didn't see in the bill, it's also their social, can say warfare, more like we've seen prison in movies, like in America. We've seen they've got TVs, they play basketballs. I really wish also our prison, maybe next time you are, Honorable Minister, you are making amendments, can you push those things inside? We want to see those plasmas in the prisons, just to make sure it's not that when you are there, it means you have really committed the crime. There are some people that are there, they haven't committed any crime, but maybe they fail to defend themselves, or they are in the wrong place at the or they were in the wrong place at the wrong time, something of that nature. So we really want them also at least not to
Malasa, a
miss,
minute to go.
yeah, not to miss things that are happening outside. Even when the TVs would have been there, I'm sure this contribution that I'm making, they would have been watching. So with just these few remarks, Madam Speaker, I would like to commend that this prison bill pass. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
Okay, I've seen the Minister of Justice. You had something. Yes, I'll give you Honorable Cholo Central.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise because of what Zwamba Chisi said. He wanted to hear from the Minister of Justice what other bills or other laws are under review. Madam Speaker, the Minister of Justice is very busy in trying to update some of the laws that are archaic. You see, even from the current order paper, the bills presented here, for example, the mental health bill, this is to repeal and replace the current Act of 1948. And also, you see that the emphasis changes from mental health treatment, to management of mental health conditions. Madam Speaker, we also have brought to the honourable members here the tourism bill. Currently, tourism industry is being governed by another old act of 1968. So you can see we're doing what we can within the resources that we have to try and update our laws. We also have segregated, Madam Speaker, you have segregated members of parliament, honourable members of parliament, the sugarcane industry bill. That's another progressive legislation. The sugarcane industry, Madam Speaker, is second or third highest foreign exchange earner for the country, but there was no law regulating the industry. So this is just a tip of what we're doing, but we believe we'll bring more progressive legislation. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Cholo Central.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker, for giving the people of Cholo Central an opportunity to add their voice to this important bill. But probably before I do, allow me to join others who've condoled the people of Rumpi East for the passing of their chief. and I am aware as well of, I think, T. Mbera, and we from Cholo Central would like to extend our condolences on the same. Madam Speaker, just like how any female, be it a lady, a god, or whatever it is, as a candidate of being a mother one day, and I know along the way, others do not end up being mothers for one reason or the other. We in this house are potential candidates for that place called prison, for one reason or the other. Therefore, we should look at this bill with all the seriousness that it can attract. I therefore commend the Honorable Minister for bringing up this bill. Madam Speaker, the bill in itself does not bring change if policies thereafter are not speaking to the laws that are in place. At the moment, the prisons are suffering a lot due to inadequate funding, and that as Zomba Chisi, Zomba Malosa have indicated that the upright of our prisoners are not well taken care of. One of the reasons is the issue of funding. I therefore would like to invite the minister that with the improvements that are being talked about in this bill, let government move in as well in terms of funding to make sure that we indeed live the promise. But in other jurisdictions, Madam Speaker, these prisons do make their own money. For example, if you have skills prison, so all carpenters can go to that particular prison, whether it be Zomba, whether the convict is from Chitipa or Nsanje, but should go to one prison. Because then all the furniture in schools, i.e. desks, you would reduce that cost by having them fix these desks. And then they are making money out of that. But when we leave them there, they are not doing anything, they lose their skills. By the time they go back home, they would have lost the art. And we are not helping them. And then the government is not saving money, it continues to feed them and not doing much. Mechanics, for example, we've got all these government vehicles that must be fixed. If we have a prison that has got all these technical skills, electricians on one side, and then mechanics and everybody, you will be able to send these vehicles there and get repaired at a minimum fee, but the prisons are making money out of the same. This is in line with what Zomba Chisi mentioned, that we have heard that most of the builders that come here to construct some of these buildings from China are prisoners. Whether this is true or not, we are not sure. But if it is, then we can borrow a leaf from there and say, let's get together, push skills, and let it happen. We've got farms that are idle. Now we are talking about mega farms. Can we take a couple of farms and say, this particular farm, we are going to bring in prisoners here so that they can up their skills in farming and be able to produce food enough for this particular country? That would help. As indicated, we've got people that are imprisoned. Last week I was reading an article where legal aid helped somebody who was convicted in Chikwawa and was in jail for 8 years, only to discover that the person was not wrong. But he's been there for 8 years. All this long being
Cholo
punished.
Central, Consider winding up. Your time is up.
Oh, being punished for really not doing anything. And as I wind up, Madam Speaker, would you consider as well, just like how teaching hospitals, like Kuhes, is next to Queen Elizabeth Central Hospital, because practicals have got to happen there. Would you consider, for example, removing the Chichiri prison from where it is, it's in town, take it to Mapanga, where they get trained there, there is a school there, and land is there, so that those that are being trained in that school can go and have their practicals there, than leaving a prison right in the city as it is there. I would love that this law should be backed with policies and indeed reforms that will make the prisons reformatory centers than the way it is at the moment. I invite the Minister of Justice, the Minister of Homeland, to indeed come up with policies that will support the amendment that is in here. Madam, a few days that I was in custody, when they decided to...
But your time, Honorable.
When they decided, yes, I know of my time, but you need to hear this. When they decided to put me in jail, I was there. And to eat, these people, I go to eat, you eat only at 3 o'clock, and it is there. And I am saying, these reforms should not only be in prison, but even in these police cells. Because yesterday it was me, but I can guarantee you, tomorrow, it will be you. Which you, I don't know, but you. Because one of the orchestrators of me going to prison followed me there just weeks after. So watch out. With these few remarks, I submit and sit down.
Honorable Whip, there was a Minister of Labor who was... Sorry? The Minister of Labor? Okay, Honorable Minister, I'm told you comment on another bill. Honorable Government Chief Whip.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I think it's apparent that everyone supports this bill. And you can see we tried as much as possible to have a lot of members make contributions, and very, very pertinent contributions. It was interesting for the first time to see Zomba Malosa debate very soberly today. I was very impressed on such, and I think it's good. Just to say that, you know, this bill, most people are saying we are next, so let's make conditions better for us. It is not necessarily conditions better for us, people sitting in here, but it's better for Malawians in the spirit of human rights. I thought I should put that straight, Madam Speaker. But with these few remarks, I would like to beg that we curtail debate in order to allow the Honorable Minister to wind up. Thank you very much.
Honorable Minister, honorable members, I now put the question. The question is that debate on Bill number 8 of 2025, prison, be curtailed in order to allow the Honorable Minister of Homeland Security to wind up. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary view say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried. Honorable Minister of Homeland Security.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this floor to react to those that have spoken on this bill. Madam Speaker, I'm happy that it's a consensus, and it seems from both sides of the aisle, everyone is in agreement that this is an important bill, because the act that we're using right now is very archaic. Just a recap, the UDF spokesperson, Madam Speaker, spoke in agreement to this bill, and is very happy that the focus of this bill is on rehabilitation. And the spokesperson for the UDF, I just wanted to put these facts to her, that we are not amending this act, but rather we are repealing and replacing the 1956 Act. It's an overhaul exercise. And I can assure the UDF spokesperson that immediately this bill has been passed in this House and has been assented to by the President, Dr. Lazarus McCarthy Chakwera, the government will immediately act, or rather implement this bill. Madam Speaker, Zomba Chisi, my brother over there, is very much in agreement with this bill, and just to address the part where he did ask that there were plans to move Maula prisons to somewhere in Chitedze, just to inform this House that yes, those plans are there. I know the plans have, taken a longer period of time, but just to assure the MP for Zomba Chisi that the government flight a tender so that a contract should be given to a company that will be able to construct a new prison at Chitedze, and I can assure this House that that process is still in the hands of the technocrats, and once that process has been completed, the nation will be in the know as to who will be given this contract. Just to mention that as it is now, the capacity of our prisons is to accommodate only 8,000 inmates, but we have well over, to accommodate 8,000 inmates, but in our prisons, Madam Speaker, we have well over 17,000 inmates. So Zomba Chisi is very much alive to those facts. That's why he raised that point. And to my dear sister, Zomba Malosa, she also spoke in agreement with this bill, and she said she didn't see a mention on social amenities like provisions of TVs in our prisons. Just to pare away those fears, the honorable member may wish to know that we are already providing these social amenities, and Mzimba prison is a good example where we have TVs, but that part cannot be contained in the bill, but rather it will be contained in our regulations. Coming to Choro Central, my very old friend, who is also my mlamu, he spoke in support of the bill with passion, and he implored the government pace with regard to funding in prisons. The question of funding doesn't fall on my desk, it falls on the desk of the Minister of Finance. And he also asked if we did a skills specialization in prisons, just to let him know that that is noted, and my officers will take note of that. Madam Speaker, having reached this far, I beg to move that the bill be read for the second time. I beg to move.
Thank you, Honorable Minister of Homeland Security. I now put the question. The question is that Bill number 8 of 2025, prisons, be read for a second time. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary view say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried.
Bills, committee stage. Bill number 8 of 2025, prisons.
Honorable members, we're now in committee stage. I invite volunteer chairperson of any committee available. Chair, defense. You have the floor, Chair.
Welcome, honorable members. Welcome to the committee stage of Bill number 8 of 2025, prisons. I wish to inform you that so far, the chair has not received any notice of the proposed amendments on this bill. So if no one wishes to speak, I now put a question. The question is that Clause 1 to 166 stand part of the bill. Those of the opinion say aye, and those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried. If the bill has stages, honorable members, I wish to inform you that the bill has 4 stages. I now put the question that Schedule 1 to 4 stand part of the bill. Those of the opinion say aye, and those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried. Honorable members, this seeks the end of the committee stage of the Bill number 8 of 2025, prisons. Thank you for your active participation.
Thank you, Chair Defense.
Bills, report stage. Bill number 8 of 2025, prisons.
Honorable Minister of Homeland Security, report progress, please.
Madam Speaker, I beg to report that Bill number 8, Prisons Bill 2025, passed through committee stage without amendments.
Honorable Minister. At third reading when?
And I beg to move that the third reading be taken today and now. Thank you.
Honorable Minister, honorable members, I now put the question. The question is that third reading of Bill number 8 of 2025, prisons, be taken today. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary view say no. The ayes have it and the motion is carried.
Bills, third reading. Bill number 8 of 2025, prisons.
Honorable Minister of Homeland Security.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that Bill number 8, Prisons Bill 2025, be now read for the third time and passed. Madam Speaker, I beg to move.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. I now put the question. The question is that Bill number 8 of 2025, prisons, be read a third time and passed. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary view say no. The ayes have it and the bill has passed. Honorable members, it is 28 minutes past 11. We're supposed to have our health break. So we'll break off for health break or Chief Whip, I don't know your guidance, but yeah.
Madam Speaker, I was thinking that maybe since members have already been walking out, I think to help themselves with a health break, maybe we can just wind up with the final bill, which is just supposed to follow up with this, the penal code, and then we'll hand it over to the private members.
Complete the second one?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sure. Honorable member for Kota North and former Speaker, you're rising?
Yes, Right Honorable Speaker. I had wanted to rise earlier on, having heard from the Honorable Minister of Justice responding to a question from Zomba Chisi, but I didn't want to break the flow of the discussions. A small point, Right Honorable Speaker. In his response to the matter raised by Zomba Chisi regarding a number of bills, rather acts of parliament that have taken too long to be reviewed, citing the Prison Act, which was enacted in 1956, the Honorable Minister did allay the fears of the Honorable Member for Zomba Chisi in comforting him that his ministry is on top of matters looking at a number of such laws. I wanted to bring to his attention, through you, Right Honorable Speaker, of an act that was enacted on 13th February 1957. This act is dear to everybody's heart here, the National Assembly Powers and Privileges Act. The act that we enjoy using ourselves as members of parliament, that protects us in our utterances and everything else. That act, Honorable Minister, was enacted on 30th February 1957. it is old, it is obsolete. The penalties are quoted in pounds. And if the Honorable Speaker today was to charge an errant member or a visitor in terms of punishment by paying some money, should be pronouncing the punishment in pounds. And therefore, my plea through you, Honorable Speaker, is efforts have been made before that this law should also come under review to align it with the current way of doing our work. Would you also take it on board? Yeah, that's the small matter I wanted to raise, Honorable Speaker. Thank you so much.
Very much, Honorable Member for Nkota North and former Speaker, for his sentiments. Indeed, it's a very archaic law. Of course, I know there's some work that has started, but maybe I think I'll give you an update on where exactly we are, but there's some work that is happening. So I will talk to our legal team, because we have been discussing the same, because we want that also changed as the National Assembly. But obviously, maybe the minister can also shed in more light if he has any. But I will give you an update, Honorable Member for Nkota North, and need all the members on where we are with that act. But it needs to be changed, as you have said, right, Honorable. Thank you. Honorable Minister, just you had something to say? Or nothing? Okay.
Bills. First reading. Bill number 9 of 2025, Penal Code.
Honorable Minister of Justice, second reading when?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Second reading today and now. I beg to move.
Thank you, Honorable Minister of Justice. Honorable members, if no one wishes to speak, I now put the question. The question is that Bill number 9 of 2025, Penal Code, be read for read for a second time. Those of that opinion say aye, and those of that contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried.
Second reading, Bill number 9 of 2025, Penal Code.
Honorable Minister of Justice.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. May I speak from here? May I speak from here, Madam Speaker?
Planter City Southwest. Can we have order, please?
Madam Speaker, the bill number 9 of 2025, Penal Code Amendment Bill, seeks to amend the Penal Code by introducing a new penalty or punishment. The punishment to be house detention. Madam Speaker, this comes first on the heels of the prison bill just passed by this House, which is aiming at taking a human rights approach to prison conditions, including decongesting prisons. And therefore, this Penal Code Amendment Bill seeks to give power to the courts to be able to sentence someone after conviction to house detention instead of custodial penalty at the public prisons. Madam Speaker, that is the only amendment that this bill is introducing, and I therefore wish to plead with honourable members of the House to support the amendment. I beg to move, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
The Honourable Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, I now call upon Chairperson from DPP. Spokesperson, sorry, yes.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
for the opportunity given to the Democratic Progressive Party to respond to this proposed amendment in the Penal Code. I too would like to thank my party leadership, Professor Arthur Mutharika, for instilling in me the responsibility of responding to legal matters in this House. Madam Speaker, this bill is appropriate, long overdue. In dealing with issues of prisons, we do find that there are convicted individuals that have, for example, drug-resistant tuberculosis, which is at a very dangerous and infectious stage. Now, if you take that individual and place him in a crowded cell, you are imperiling everybody in that cell. This proposed amendment will address such situations. You also find some convicted individuals that are so disabled that looking after them requires the attention of a family member. Then you cannot take that family member into prison in order to look after this particular individual. And one can cite so many other examples, including very old age, when people are so old and frail that life in prison would be impossible for them to endure. They merit being in custody at home. People would say, how can somebody who is old and frail commit a crime? They can. What if they take poison and put in somebody's food? So that kind of situation merits a review on how this kind of person can be treated. So for that reason, the Democratic Progressive Party supports this amendment with a caveat to the Honorable Minister that he is not going to use this provision to keep me at home so that I don't go out campaigning. So it should not be used for restraining people to express their democratic or political rights. But it's an important amendment, and I think it will serve a very useful purpose in our democracy. For that reason, we support this amendment. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, spokesperson from DPP and Honourable Member for Machinga Likwenu. Spokesperson from UDF and Zomba Ntonya MP.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for recognizing UDF to comment on this very important amendment on Bill 9 of 2025. What we are witnessing today, Madam Speaker, is progress. As a country, I believe we are now moving with time. You know, to incarcerate somebody who is very ill, who is frail, who can easily exposed to other diseases, to commit him to his home, it is progress. It is progress, Madam Speaker. As UDF, we are very happy that today we are witnessing the amending of this bill. Very important indeed. Progressive. We support the bill. Thank you.
Honourable spokesperson from DPP, as well as the Honourable Member for Zomba Ntonya. Honourable Minister of Labour, then Mwanza Central.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, for granting me the floor. Today is a very exciting day. And, you know, Madam Speaker, the former chairperson of the Legal Affairs Committee in me could not stay quiet on such a very very exciting day when we witnessed the passing of the prisons bill and then a subsequent amendment of the penal code, so we could introduce house arrest as one of the forms of punishment. Madam Speaker, I want through you to express my gratitude. And of course, I know I'll be speaking on behalf of the House when I say we are very grateful to the Honorable Minister of Homeland Security, as well as His Excellency the President, because for the past 5 years, we have seen the President championing legislative reforms that are human rights friendly. We all recall, Madam Speaker, when the President led us in decriminalizing sedition in the penal code. We took that out, and the subsequent repealing of some sections in the protected names, flags, and emblems. Madam Speaker, that was progressive, and today we are witnessing yet again another milestone. And this all points out to the fact that we have had a leader, we have a leader in this country who is human rights friendly. You would also recall, Madam Speaker, that in 2023, the same President, His Excellency Dr. Jaguera, you recall that he commuted all the prisoners, the convicts that were on death row to life imprisonment. Madam Speaker, that was also, very progressive. And as we speak today, we don't have anyone on the death row. I thought, as a House, reflecting, looking back, the 5 years that we have been here, we should be able to, applaud, commend His Excellency the President for being human rights friendly and in leading us as a House in coming up with legislative reforms that actually comply with the international human rights standards. So with those very few remarks, Madam Speaker, I support the bill, the amendment of the penal code, and underscore this point that it's important that we commend the leadership for being very human rights friendly in the legislative reforms. I thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister of Labour. Yes, Mwanza Central.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Madam Speaker. Madam, good morning, and how are you? Right Honorable Speaker, I stand to support the bill that has been ably presented by the Honorable Minister of Justice. But my reason of standing, Right Honorable Madam Speaker, apparently I'm standing after eminent speakers have made their very persuasive submission. I must say that I have greatest respect to my dear Honorable Member for Malijinga Likwenu, who sometimes, you remember, right, Madam Speaker, in those days when you and me were ministers, and he used to be Chief Secretary. And I used to call him Lord Hersham because of the eminent British member of the bench. So, Right Honorable Member for Malijinga Likwenu is an eminent person, but also former Speaker of Parliament, Right Honorable Chimuntu Banda, also right Member of Parliament for Kota North, Kota North. Right Honorable Madam Speaker, before I comment on the bill, may you allow me to say this. The presentation by the former Speaker, which was first of all phrased or paraphrased to say, I have something small, enacted in 1957, when Robert Armitage has just assumed as governor of Nyasaland. And that is just, it's not a small thing. The Privileges Act of this House, Madam Speaker, is extremely important to the House and the thriving democracy of our country. Now that you have assured us that necessary, innovative, and progressive progress to promulgate laws that will help the privileges of this House is being taken care of. May I congratulate you, Right Honourable Madam Speaker, and encourage you through the Secretariat and our legal minds to do likewise. Right Honourable Madam Speaker, Madam, our forefathers, the people after independence in 1964, the likes of Gwanda Chagwamba, Member of Parliament for Port Herald, the likes of Otton Edgar Chinyoli Chilwa for Nkatabe, Dunduzi Kaluli Chisisa for Karonga, William Maleka Nyamachume for Rumpi, John Stanison for Visas and Kota, Hastings Kamzubanda for Kasungu and Nchinji, Augustine Banauls for Blantyre, Willard Coman for Ncheu, John Zena Sunga Paketembo for Dedza, Echimasa for Lilongwe. I can continue calling these names. Ali Juma Nyasulu, who you have succeeded, Madam, in his constituency of Mzimba. These people tried in their way to make sure that we have a thriving democracy. Oh, without forgetting Henry Masako Chibembere for Fort Johnson and Kasupi. So, right now, Madam, here we are. We must enhance our privileges of the House so that we are protected. We are able to say, explain, expound, extrapolate at what ideas, because Parliament, according to Edmund Burke, is the deliberative assembly. It's not a house of belligerents. Without digressing quite long, let me come back to the bill. I want to congratulate the Honourable Minister of Justice in complementarity with my dear brother, Minister of Homeland Security, for coming out with this bill. It is an important bill because I can recite a lot of examples of the advantage of having this bill. I don't want to bore you, Right Honourable Speaker, but just to say that every country must develop, and the progression of the country in status via, it's a continuous journey of progression, from promulgation of laws that are good for the people. In this period, Right Honourable Madam Speaker, Madam, it's a Lenten period in the Catholic Church. And we're encouraged to promulgate laws that are very normative, very humane, very caritas veritatis, very populorum progressio of the development of the people, very rorem novarum of new things. That's what is supposed to be promulgated. And Right Honourable Madam Speaker, Madam, I want to congratulate my good brother, my dear friend Titus, also my dear friend, Honourable Minister of Justice, for this good presentation. With these remarks, Right Honourable Madam Speaker, Madam, people of Inkos Kanduku Maseko, Kunene Gude, Ziaya Nchotseni, Tambala, Lipenga, and all the Tronkondos and name them, wholeheartedly support the bill, including, I suppose, the people of Igwendeni, who are my good brothers and sisters. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Mwanza Central. I hope you are not intending to go and stand in Ekwendeni. You keep on mentioning Ekwendeni. Honourable Government Chief Whip.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. A very straightforward bill, very progressive bill indeed. And just to echo the sentiments by Minister of Labour, that this administration is the one that probably has seen the most legal, what do you call it? A revolution, let me say. I think since the beginning of Parliament, we have seen that there's been a lot of bills that have passed through, and very progressive indeed. Therefore, I beg to move that we curtail debate in order to allow the Minister to wind up. Thank you very much.
Very much, Government Chief Whip. Honourable members, I now put the question. The question is that debate on Bill number 9 of 2025, Penal Code, be curtailed in order to allow the Honourable Minister of Justice to wind up. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary view say no. The ayes have it and the motion is carried. Honorable Minister of Justice.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And let me thank the whole House, starting with the spokespersons for DPP and the UDF for speaking in favor of the bill. Let me also thank my colleague, Honourable Minister of Labour, for coming in to support the bill. And let me assure the Honourable Member for Machinga Kwenu and all members here that he will not, and no one will be disabled from campaigning by being put under house detention. Madam Speaker, the sense behind this is really to keep in line with the moving away from punishment to a reformatory system of bringing awareness to the offender that what he did was wrong and they need to reform and live a normal life. We have seen that severe punishment in prison does not really reform people. Even when they come out, some go back because they would have met hardcore prisoners in prison and learned more dangerous tricks, more dangerous ways of committing crime. So, Madam Speaker, this is just to emphasize that we want to take a human rights approach to these matters. With those remarks, in winding up, Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the bill be read for the second time. I beg to move.
Honorable Minister, honorable members, I now put the question. The question is that Bill number 9 of 2025, Penal Code, be read a second time. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary view say no. The ayes have it and the motion is carried.
Bills. Committee stage. Bill number 9 of 2025, Penal Code Amendment.
Thank you. Any chairperson to come and chair? Thank you, Chair for Legal Affairs. You have the floor.
Honorable members, welcome to committee stage of Bill number 9 of 2025, Penal Code Amendment. I wish to inform you that so far the chair has not received any notice of a proposed amendment on this bill. So if no one wishes to speak, I now put a question. And the question is that clauses 1 to 2 stand part of the bill. Those of the opinion say aye, and those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it. The motion is carried.
Honourable members, this marks the end of committee stage of Bill number 9 of 2025 Penal Code Amendment. Thank you very much for your active participation.
Bills, report stage. Bill number 9 of 2025, Penal Code Amendment.
Once again, thank you, Chair, Legal Affairs. Report, Honourable Minister of Justice. Report progress, please.
Madam Speaker, I wish to report that the Bill number 9 of 2025, Penal Code Amendment Bill, went through the committee stage without amendments, and I beg to move that the bill be read for the third time. I beg to move.
Thank you, Honourable Minister of Justice. Honourable members, I now put the question. The question is that third reading of Bill number 9 of 2025, Penal Code, be taken today. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary view say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried.
Third reading, Bill number 9 of 2025, Penal Code Amendment.
Honourable Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I beg to move that Bill number 9 of 2025, Penal Code Amendment Bill, be now read a third time and passed. I beg to move.
Honourable members, I now put the question. The question is that Bill number 9 of 2025, Penal Code, be read a third time and passed. Those of the opinion say aye. Those of the contrary view say no. The ayes have it, and the bill has passed. Honourable Government Chief Whip.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that we now hand over business to the private members so that we can move as per their guidance. Thank you.
Honourable member would have to be moving it as a motion so that we move to. Okay.
I did put up a motion, Madam Speaker. I said that I beg to move that now we revert business to the private side so that the private members can guide on how we proceed from now.
Thank you very much, Honourable Government Chief Whip. Honourable members, I now put the question. The question is that we waive all relevant standing orders in order for us to revert back to private members' business. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary view say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried. I need guidance from the private members. Yes, there's a centrist.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Today being a private members' day, and having worked so hard today and this week, I beg to move that
we waive all relevant standing orders to have an early adjournment of the day. I beg to move.
Early adjournment for the day or for lunch? Honorable members, I now put the question. The question is that we waive all relevant standing orders in order for us to have an early adjournment. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary view say no. The ayes have it and the motion is carried. Honorable members, I'm asking the government chief whip, you need to give us guidance for tomorrow.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Tomorrow, we will start, obviously, with questions, but then we will move to the bills. There are a few bills that we still need to look at, and the opposition could prepare for that, especially the criminal. There is a bill.
I can't hear the chief whip. Can I have order? Yes.
Madam Speaker, I was saying that tomorrow we'll start with questions for replies, but there is a bill on financial crimes that we want to tackle tomorrow.
Thank you very much, Honorable Government Chief Whip. Honorable members, the leader has given us, the Government Chief Whip has given us guidance for tomorrow. And let me thank you for today. I'll now adjourn the House to tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. House adjourned.
Well, that's how the House has concluded its business today, Thursday, 3 April 2025. As per the order paper, the House started deliberations with questions on notice to ministers for oral replies that was under general business. Ministry of Lands took 2 questions from Zomba Malosa and Zomba Nsondole with supplementary questions to the same. This was followed by bills under government business. Among them, Bill number 8 of 2025, Prisons, presented in the House by Minister of Homeland Security. The bill seeks to repeal the Prisons Act, Chapter 9, Subsection 2, and replace it with new legislation which conforms with constitutional and international standards, adopts a human rights-based approach to the management of prison systems, and focuses on the rehabilitation and reintegration of prisoners into society. The current Prisons Act was enacted in 1956. The Defense and Security Parliamentary Committee also presented a report on the same. The House also passed Bill number 9 of 2025, Penal Code Amendment. The bill seeks to amend Section 25 of the Penal Code to add to the list of punishments house detention as a form of punishment under the Code. Meanwhile, the Speaker of the House, Right Honorable Catherine Gotanehara, MP, has adjourned the House until tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Umu ndi momwe zayendera zokambirana za phungu lero lachinayi pa 3 April 2025, monga mwa ndondomeko ya zokambirana za phungu mnyumbayi lero, aphunguwa anayamba zokambirana zawo ndi mafunso kupita ku maunduna. Unduna woona za malo ndi omwe wayankha mafunso awiri kuchokera kwa aphungu amadera a Zomba Malosa ndi Zomba Nsondole. Kenako nyumbayi inakambirana mabilu kuchokera kumbali ya boma. Nyumbayi yakambirana ndi kuvomereza Bill number 8 ya 2025, Prisons, yomwe anapereka ndi nduna yoona za chitetezo cha mdziko. Bill iyi ikufuna kusintha gawo 9 ndime yachiwiri ya lamulo loyendetsera ntchito za ndende lomwe lilipo pakadali pano kuti ndende za mdziko muno zikhale malo abwino mogwirizana ndi ndende za maiko ena zomwe zili zolemekeza ufulu wa anthu. Lamulo lomwe lilipo pakadali pano lidayamba kugwira ntchito makamaka mchaka cha 1956. Nyumbayi inakambirana ndi kuvomereza ripoti la komiti ya kunyumba ya malamulo yoona za chitetezo lomwe nalo linagwirizana ndi biluyi. Nyumbayi inakambirananso ndi kuvomereza Bill number 9 ya 2025, Penal Code. Biluyi ikufuna kusintha gawo 25 la mu Penal Code powonjezera ukaidi wa pakhomo kukhala chimodzi mwa zilango zimene mabwalo a milandu adzitha kupereka makamaka kwa munthu yemwe wapezeka olakwa koma ali ndi mavuto ena amene sangamulole kukhala ku ndende. Pakadali pano, Speaker wa nyumbayi, Right Honorable Catherine Gotanehara, MP, wayimitsa zokambiranazi kuti aphunguwa adzakumane mawa lachisanu nthawi ya 9:30 mmawa. Malo mwanzanga onse kuno ku Parliament Television, ine ndi Rachel Gonani, pitirizani kuonera ma program otsatira.